Hello, everybody. I'm Amy the Amazonian, and normally I would be streaming, but I was having some issues with my stream today, so instead, I'm generating offline content for you to view while I'm on vacation. Today I want to show off a deck that I found yesterday on my stream just by looking around at deck lists. This is by Toxic Mahogany. So thank you to Toxic Mahogany for building this deck. I have no idea how to get in touch with you, but I like what you did here. So what is this deck? This deck is Hateful Eidolon, Ephemia. Ephemia? Not sure. And Tournament Calls the Dead. This is actually what really called me to this deck, was the fact that it was running 4 of Tournament Calls the Dead. I already had copies of this, and I wanted to make use of them because they're not doing a lot in my collection right now. So what this big synergy here is Ephemia and Timurit Calls the Dead both exile things from your graveyard in order to make zombie tokens. You get a slight reward for having those zombie tokens. From Timurit Calls the Dead, you gain life, and you get to scry on this 3rd stage of the saga. And then we also have auras. A lot of these are kind of hurt auras, pain auras, I'm not sure what to call them, kill spells, but auras. Got Mire's Grasp and Dead Weight. When something dies that has an aura on it, friendly or unfriendly, as long as you control the aura, you draw a card. So we've got card draw / tempo in the form of this Hateful Eidolon. We've got a little bit of protection in the Alseid of Life's Bounty. You've got discounted... all of these are enchantments, by the way. Discounted enchantments from the Starfield Mystic. You have a way to sacrifice some of your enchantments after they're done being used. In fact, you can sacrifice this after its 3rd stage is triggered. So you've got Final Payment, and you also have Treacherous Blessing for card draw. Archon of Sun's Grace also synergizes with playing a ton of enchantments because you get these Pegasi, and it's a great flyer. And then there's these 2 1-ofs at the top end. There's a sideboard for this, but I will be playing it as a best of 1 deck. This is kind of an easy to understand sideboard. It's, hey, if they're playing hard aggro, you wipe the board. If they're playing lots of evil control cards, you attack their hand. There's a bit of survival in case you're up against control. Some specific red-black planeswalker and creature hate here. Sorcery speed, sadly. Can't take out a Cavalier of Flame when it's already attacking your face because it has haste. So let's go ahead and show this off. By the way, this video, like all my videos, is sponsored by TCGplayer.com and by Wizards of the Coast. Thank you both for making this video happen. So let's go ahead and go into Ranked, actually, with this. Well, I've named this Hate Bait. We thought about calling it Dancing the Horror, but it was a little too deep. Too deep of a reference for most people to understand. Let's do it. Horror, as in hate aura. It's also you might know it as the chair dance if you've ever been to a bar mitzvah. So wait, let's see. Got some nice early stuff in here. Most of this deck is into 2 and 3 drop slots. I'm happy to go Starfield Mystic into Ephemia. She doesn't do much if there's no enchantments in the graveyard, but of course casting Mire's Grasp puts something in the graveyard. And we even got a nice turn 1 play here. This Hateful Eidolon is able to body the Scorched Bitter unless our opponent is running Infuriate, which they very much might be. And they just said hello. Hello, Sarnak. I think you have an Infuriate in your hand. And I think that's a perfectly reasonable assumption to make. Ah, maybe they were just going for that light up the stage, desperate for lands. In-Street Dodger. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and just drop down a Mire's Grasp on this turn. I'm gonna take out the Scorched Spitter, draw a card off my Eidolon, and swing in. I'll be gaining 1 life from this, which is very helpful against mono red. Who would have thunk? Red doesn't like it when you gain life. And they shocked this. That's a reasonable move to make. They don't want me having a life linker down. I don't want them having anything down. So in order to play 2 cards in the same turn here, I'm going to need to play Starfield Mystic. And then I can either kill the Steamkin, get down Ephemia, exile one of these from my graveyard, and make a zombie. I am going to go for just taking out the Steamkin here. Steamkin is so much value for mono red that it's dangerous for me to let that thing live. I think that they have an Infuriate in hand, and I'm willing to trade this for their Infuriate. Infuriate gives +3/+2. There we go. And if as suspected, I've seen a lot of people playing this card, and it makes sense because it's a good card. Ephemia, she is legendary, so I can't play both of her this turn, but I can give her Special Eyes. She can see everything! Everything! And she can also bring her friend. This guy. It's a zombie token. Little 2/2 zombie. And she can make one of those every single turn. Speaking of making tokens, this guy also makes tokens. I think I'm just going to go for some card draw. Treacherous Blessing. This can be a little damning because it means I'm going to take damage when I cast a spell until I can get rid of this. And I had kind of an unfortunate draw here. I only drew more Ephemias that I could cast this turn. That's alright. I don't need more Ephemias down. They would just kill my own Ephemia. But I do have Cavalier of Dawn for next turn, which can get rid of whatever their biggest thing is. In this case, probably Annex. Annex makes tokens all the time. And right now, Annex is only a 3/3, which means that if I kill it now, they'll only get 1 Satyr token out of it. Oh, but I also got an Archon of Sun's Grace. I will save that for the next turn. Take 1 damage. I'm going to give my opponent a 3/3 Golem. By the way, you can use Cavalier of Dawn to destroy your own Treacherous Blessing. That is a fine move, but I wanted to get rid of Annex because Annex is such a big threat to me. Also, I can just take a hit from this Golem. Another Runaway Steamkin hitting the board. They do have Castle Embereth, but they don't have the mana to activate it right now. Very, very possible they have another Infuriate, so I should probably actually block under that assumption. Because Ephemia's, like, she's kind of done what I need her to do. I'm just gonna throw her in front of one of these. I'm gonna over-block on a bunch of these. Make sure that things would die. I wonder if it's an Embercleave. It could also be Embercleave here. And you might notice I left my Cavalier of Dawn back. That's because I have nothing to bring back from my graveyard with it. It targets artifacts or enchantments. And I already kind of removed my best artifacts and enchantments. Hey, there's Embercleave! So we did do good blocks assuming an Embercleave. 10th Street Dodger takes out the Ephemia. We have more. We have more, and this actually enables me to do something fun. Yay! I get to play things and get more lifelink. Yay, lifelink! Everybody likes lifelink. At the expense of taking out a zombie. I know I'm hurting myself a lot with this Treacherous Blessing, which is kind of scary against mono red, but now I have lifelinking blockers. I've got a 4/5 Vigilant lifelinking flyer. It's pretty nice. Pretty nice. They're down to 5. I'm at 11. Yeah, bark at you too, dog. I like my dog. I have the level 3 Fox from the Eldraine Mastery Pass, but I just like the level 2 one, the uncommon one, more. I don't like the glowing eyes. I think it's the yellow eyes I don't like. Maybe it's the little glowing Sims pips over it. Not sure. Fervent Champion. Runaway Steamkin becomes a 3/3. Embercleave has equipable mana. They could... Oh, they could cast a spell here. They have 3 mana now from the Steamkin. They have another Steamkin in hand and a land. Well, not in hand, in exile. If they want to equip this, they'll have to make their Steamkin weaker. And they did exactly that. Playing the other Steamkin, this becomes a 3/3 with Double Strike and Trample. But they don't have any tricks. There's nothing they can do to get around me here. Good game. They're just swinging in for the heck of it. I'm gonna get myself some turbo life gain here. It feels good. Everybody likes gaining life, right? Of course they do. And I am back up to almost 20 life. We get to swing in with everything. Good game, my opponent. And ending the game against Mono Red at 25 life. That feels good. So now you've seen kind of how this deck plays out in best of one, and as you can see, it's doing a lot. It has a lot of different things going on all at the same time, using fairly simple cards, which makes it really appealing to me. It's a really good use for if you get some of these cards out of drafting, and you're like, I want to build an aura deck, but maybe I don't have the good stuff for green-white auras. So I'm gonna try Orzhov. Let's bring it in again. Hopefully we can eke out at least one more win using this deck. Fingers crossed. My next opponent. Bring it. Ooh, it's a mirror match. It's Elspeth versus Elspeth. So if I want my early mana here, I'm going to have to shock that in. And I think that's well worth it. So I'm going to keep this hand. Chalk in for Life's Bounty. This card being able to give any enchantment protection is so cool. I've had to protect a Heliod with this that was not a creature at the time. Alright, it looks like we might be up against Mono Red again, which is fine with me. Bring in the Eidolon. Got the Life's Bounty here. I'm gonna go for the Starfield Mystic, and I'll try to play cautiously with it, because I'm not able to protect it without having the mana up. The reason I want to play that there is so I could get down a cheap Ephemia next turn. Oh, but if they tap out, swing with the Robber of the Rich, I'm happy to take that trade. By the way, I can make this bigger just by sacrificing this, turning it into a 3/3. Didn't seem necessary here. I'm going to pop down the Hateful Eidolon, get myself some card draw by killing their Fervent Champion. So that essentially just killed and cycled. Felt really good. Swing in, gain a life. These are both lifelinkers, little lifelinking enchantments. Mono Red does not enjoy lifelink. It does not have enchantment-specific removal. There's a lot happening here that is kind of good for me. This turn, dropping Ephemia, a Fever Dream. Killing their Scorch Spitter, swinging in to gain a life. And, because I have lots of nice, tasty enchantments in my graveyard, I'm going to get rid of one of them. It's been exiled. Make a zombie. I can also make zombies with this, with the Timurit Calls the Dead. Ooh, Phoenix of Ash, swinging in at me. I am going to take that trade. Because again, this is an aggro deck we're up against. I want to stay alive. That's kind of my prerogative here. I'm going to get some life gain off this in 3 turns. 3 whole turns. Oh, a lot of Ephemias in our graveyard. Hopefully I can get this out. So when they inevitably bring this back, maybe even this turn, I'll have a good blocker in the air. This does have a pump ability, but it's a very expensive one. It's 3 mana to give +2/+0. Yep, looks like the Phoenix of Ash is coming back. Hello, Phoenix. The +1/+1 counter on it. Don't have a second source of white here. I can't play the Archon. I have 2 choices really of what I do here. I can either use Castle Locktwain, take 2 or 3 damage, and search for something, or I can just drop down the Starfield Mystic and pass my turn. I could attack and just lose something into the Phoenix of Ash, but I'm at 21 life. I don't feel the need for that. I'm also left now with the mana to use Outside of Life's Bounty. Okay, Torbrand down, so this now deals 6 damage when it connects. A lot of damage. Okay, we get to scry here. Unfortunately, the scry does happen after I've drawn. So what we really need is we really need white mana. And I don't think that this is going to be fast enough. The Treacherous Blessing lets me draw more on a turn, but I'd really like to get this Archon of Sun's Grace down next turn if I can. So I think this is how I want this. So I won't be able to play the Treacherous Blessing after. Treacherous Blessing, by the way, does not deal damage when it's cast. It's only dealing damage when you're casting spells after it. My Starfield Mystic gets a little bit bigger. I'm actually going to see if I can pull off a kind of silly trick right here. Swinging in with my Starfield Mystic. They are not interested in trying to take that trade. Okay. Now, do I want to take the extra 2 damage here to get this shrine down? Because I'd have to shock it in next turn, or extra 3 damage. So yeah, I'm actually going to do that. I'm going to grab this. And I'm going to just play it. Gives me the Archon of Sun's Grace next turn. The trick I was talking about before was sacrificing this simply so it dies. So Torbrand's dealing a little extra damage. I'm actually going to triple block it because I can. There's an Embercleave. So that is some first striking damage. Oh, actually they put it on the Phoenix of Ash. So that is 12 damage in the air. But I did manage to take out that little dude. So here's the Archon of Sun's Grace, and I have protection here. I'm going to swing in with everything but one of these zombies on the ground. Because there are lots of hasty ground creatures. The protection is going to do some weird things with the double strike trample here. It may not be enough to kill me. Ooh, but with Torbrand down, it may be enough to kill me. I'm not going to bother doing the math here. I'm just going to go ahead and do what I know is right, which is to give this protection from red, which means that it will not take the first 4 damage, which gets a +2. And the way that the trample and the double strike works, it is per target here. So protection from red, protection from red. So you can see there I gained 3 life, and then it looks like because there was no trample over, I didn't die there. And then we would have had lethal on the crackback. Excellent! Again, tricky interactions, kind of simple cards, make this deck a formidable one. It takes a little bit of learning to get used to it, but we've wrecked these 2 mono red players, and I hear a lot of the time people in my chat will be like, Amy, I hate playing against mono red. How do I deal with mono red? The answer is lifelink. It forever will be lifelink. Just gain life, and mono red will oftentimes, unless they just get like a crazy good hand and kill you by turn 4, they'll just cave. They'll be like, I don't have the staying power against you. I'm gone. I'm donezo. We can get another win here. 3rd round, heat bait. Let's do it. Also, I may as well say it now while we're just still in the matchmaking. Thank you to Insane in the Rain Music for providing all these sweet, jazzy video game covers, which I have playing in the background. Very nice. Very, very good for playing a video game. Alright, Starfield Mystic, Deadweight. We're on the draw. And having 1 land of each color should be enough for me. Can even kill something on the first turn if it's small enough. I don't know of any 1-drops that wouldn't be small enough here. Alright, got another land. Shock land, bring it in tapped. Ooh, blue-white. I wonder if this is going to be Azorius Control or Azorius Flyers. It's probably going to be Azorius Control. And that is based on the fact that they didn't play anything on turn 1 or turn 2. Omen of the Sea. This might also be Esper. There is an Esper Dance at a Mance deck that I've seen quite a few times. Flashing in things like Omen of the Sea. They get to scry. They get to draw. Through 1 to the top, 1 to the bottom. Still more blue. Okay, Rhythm Litis. This could also just be Azorius Dance at a Mance. I should not eliminate that as a possibility. So I'm going to throw down Timurit Calls the Dead and Ephemia this turn. Making use of Starfield Mystic's discount on those. Unfortunately, I didn't mill any creatures or enchantments, which means This is a kill spell and 2 lands. That's bad for this. I missed out on getting 2 zombies this turn. I would really like some zombies, friend. May I have some zombies? Do you have some Shatter Disguise? Do you have some board wipes? There we go. Now we've got some stuff that we can exile. I think I'm just gonna go with another Turmeric Calls the Dead here. I'm feeling some fear of a board wipe, though. Time wipe or otherwise. Alright. Keep on exiling things. Swing in here. Welcome to Starfield Mystic. I'm planning on using my dead weight on this. That will both buff my Starfield Mystic. Though again, I still suspect a board wipe. I've got a lot of zombies. Note this is early in the game. Turn 4? Yeah, this is turn 4. I did not hit a 4th land drop. If I did, I probably wouldn't be doing anything with it. Maybe I would have played 2 Timuric Calls the Deads. So weird seeing this card show up. If they board wipe me now, I also don't have any zombies to scry with. Yep, so I'm getting shattered. The counters get put on it afterwards. I want to make sure I make a zombie before I scry, so I'm just reordering those. Get rid of this All That Glitters. I have a zombie, so that means I get to scry one. Treacherous Blessing. I would like some card draw. I'm okay with that. And unfortunately, if I play this, I just mill that right into my graveyard. That's okay. I kind of want to just keep going off these Timuric Calls the Deads. Femia, though, also gets me great value. Still gets me more zombos. There's this dead weight from my graveyard. More zombies. Got another board wipe. Dream Trawler, a big scary flyer. Let's see if I can make a big scary flyer. Okay, scrying. Like this. I would like this. I'd like both of these. I can't do everything I want to this turn, though. It's like I'd like to all that glitters, and I'd like the Mire's Grasp. I'm just gonna go with this Treacherous Blessing. Playing the Elsaid Life's Bounty. Gonna hurt me, tiny bit. But now I start having lands. I got stuck on 3 lands for a couple turns here. If I swing in here, they would gain 3 life and lose 4, and I would lose my flyer. And really, I need to be building up my army. I also need to be building up my enchantments so I can make an Ephemia that's big enough to trade with or hopefully kill the Dream Trawler. It won't be a surprise. I don't have many flash things in this deck. Teferi, Time Raveler. All right, what are you gonna bounce? Maybe Ephemia. Take out my airborne threat. Dream Trawler is now a 5/5 flying lifelinker. Gross, first of all. And no time wipe this turn, because they just played that Plains. But maybe a Shatter? Nope. None of that. So we've got a final payment. Dream Trawler, should be noted, can get hexproof. I wonder if they have any counter spells here. Time to find out. I want to use the final payment, sacrificing this to go at this next turn. Just in case they have 2... Just in case I have a removal here, I'm throwing 2 zombies at Teferi. You'll know how it goes. It's like they could just brazen borrow one of them if I throw one at their face. Let's make a zombie. Make myself a friend. This is my friend. Marcelo. Marcelo the zombie. During their upkeep is probably my best time to go at Dream Trawler before they do anything else. Alright, so I'm gonna Brazen Borrower Ephemia back into my hand. I can give it protection from blue. That just keeps it alive. I'm still planning on killing their Dream Trawler. And that also fizzles this, so they don't have another flyer. Alright, I am going to sacrifice this Treacherous Blessing to try and kill Dream Trawler, though what I'm actually doing is I'm just tapping it. They're most likely going to discard a card, give it hexproof, and tap it. Unless, of course, they have a counterspell or something to protect it. Nope, they're just doing this. Yep, that makes sense. But now that means they're not gaining life, and they can't stop me from attack, or they can't stop my attack. It's very hard to kill a Dream Trawler. I should mention it is very, very hard to kill a Dream Trawler. Might try and land a Mire's Grasp on it, and then they'll probably just time wipe it, put it back in their hand. If they had enough mana here, they could have even, like, bounced it and played it again. Just to be obnoxious. See, they can kill one of my zombies by bouncing it. They could just plus here. Maybe they've got a Shattered of Sky at instant speed. Who knows? It's Azorius control. I don't. Okay. Ephemia back in hand. She really likes hanging out in my hand. That's just fine and dandy. Ooh. Now I'm feeling something else. I am feeling trying to land maybe a dead weight on Dream Trawler just so it has less lifelink. Trying to force them to discard another card from their hand to protect it. It's not like the most useful play I could make, but it's a play I could make. I'm gonna try it with the do I want Deadweight or Mire's Grasp? I'm gonna try it with the Deadweight first. I cannot do these at instant speed, so I can't do like one in reaction to another. Also, this tells me that they have instant speed reactions that aren't just Dream Trawler. Oh no, it could just be the Dream Trawler holding priority here. Thassa's Intervention. They're looking at the top cards of their library and putting them into their hand. Interesting. Also uses up all their mana. So their Teferi is free for the smashing. And their Dream Trawler is also, like... I guess I can go for this. Like, they're going to give it hexproof here, I'm pretty sure. They want this thing alive. Alright, to drop a land, give it hexproof. I want to save this all that glitters. Something that can't just get bounced back into my hand. And these three at face. This will only give +1/+1 right now, because I don't have... Or it would give +2/+2, because of the deadweight. I wish I had more black mana there, so I could have cast more black spells, getting down like Ephemia or Timuret. Dream Trawler's going to draw them a card. Gonna gain some life. Very tough card to deal with, and fantastic control finisher. Earthemalitis. This is a tiny bit of lifelink, or a life gain, making a wall and finding a plains. It's like a strange 3-in-1 card. It is just value for 2 mana. It's also something that you can sacrifice when your opponent, let's say, plays a Doom Foretold. Just, you can get rid of this. Why not? You don't need it. Okay, they've got the ability to make some tokens. Gonna swing in here. See if they got anything to do on the ground. Other than making a token, maybe blocking. I'm afraid if, like, I get the Ephemia down, give her all the glitters, she's just gonna get bounced. It feels like they have something in instant speed. Again, it could just be this. There we go, a casual 5/4 flyer. You can pump out some zombies for me. If they can gain enough card draw, though, they could just make Dream Trawler bigger. If they Shatter the Sky, I'll draw a card. If they Time Wipe, I'll be very sad. Please no Time Wipes. Please no Time Wiperino. Come on, Sai. What you got? Current status, Dream Trawler. They could also like Brazen Borrower the old that glitters in the middle of attacks. Oh, or just go for it right now. Bye, Femia. Back in my hand. I lose my old that glitters. I don't have lethal swinging in at them. Especially with this gosh darn lifelink. At least it's only a 3/3. This could be a lot worse. I say, and I feel like maybe, I don't know, the dead weight's gonna get bounced. Ooh, Thassa's Intervention. So that is not card draw. I think they thought it was card draw, and that's why they did it. Thassa's Intervention is putting cards into your hand. It does not make Dream Trawler bigger. But it does get around Narset. You know, that card that we all love to hate. Very rightfully love to hate. Alright, Ephemia attempting to land her on the battlefield. Emret calls the dead. How many zombies do I need to make to get my message through to you? Oh, Specialize. Alright. I don't have white mana, which is a shame, because I would love to put this onto Ephemia right now. I could have tapped more carefully, made sure that I left up white, considering that I could play a swamp next turn. Got them down to 7. Holding this in my hand to pretend I have something. I don't. Nice army. Look at these. Look at all these little friends. I feel like I'm playing Field of the Dead over here. And Orzhov. They've gained 2 life. They're swinging in at me. They're drawing a card. This is a 3/3. And I really don't want to block it. I don't think that they're going to have lethal on me. There are some cards that could, I think, draw them lethal here. But you'd need a lot of them. Okay, Shatter the Sky. Everything I know and love is gone. Better than a Time Wipe, though, for me. Because it means they don't get that Brazen Borrower. Or, not Brazen Borrower. They don't get their Dream Trawler back in their hand. Probably going to end up using this Castle Locthwain next turn. Hey, Gadwick. Gadwick is very tough for me to deal with. Especially in these later game moments. I'm gonna hit that Starfield Mystic in the graveyard. I'm gonna throw down a Starfield Mystic. Gonna throw down a Swamp. Going to activate this, leaving up both black or white. And I end up casting Sentinel's Eyes, and I'm gonna throw that on the zombie. Exile some of those lands. I'm hitting lands with that because both Ephemia and Timurit do not exile lands. That Brazen Borrower. That's going to be evasive damage. That's going to be real tough for me to deal with. Especially if they bring it out after I play this Archon of Sun's Grace, assuming I don't get to recast like a Sentinel's Eyes. Oh, golly, there's another Dream Trawler. Tapping that down. Putting me into the danger zone. And for people wondering, why did I put this on the zombie? It's because I wanted to be able to block with it. And also, if they bounced it, Sentinel's Eyes went to the graveyard, then my Starfield Mystic would be bigger. Ow. First of all, ow. Second of all, yikes. Third of all, ooh. Yikes. You should have tapped down this. It would have been funnier. Right to Fairy. Get rid of my little Zombo. Drawing a card. Intensifying my Mystic. If only my Mystic had Specialize. It will have Specialize. Just gotta wait a minute. Actually, I might need the lifelink. They can't flash that in right now. When they do, I'm gonna lose everything I know and love, but I will get a Pegasus. Everybody likes a Pegasus. I feel like everything's just gonna get bounced and tapped next turn anyway. I'm gonna go threaten to fairy here. Use a brat. You should have traded your Dream Trawler. Come on. Come on. And I'm gonna go empty-handed because I am in dire straits. That's really not gonna do much for me, but assuming my Archon is still alive next turn, fingers crossed, then it'll be useful because it will be an enchantment entering the battlefield. Bring out that Brazen Borrower, attack me in the air, force me to chump block with my Archon of Sun's Grace. If they have 2 spells, they can... Whoa. Okay. I'm not casting anything before this attack happens. Maybe because they want to see what they draw. So I'm going to go full control mode here. Actually, do I want to try double blocking? I don't. I suspect they have a bounce spell. So I'm just going to chump block with this little Pegasus. Gains me a little bit of life. Like, with this many cards in hand, how could they not have a blue spell, or have a bounce spell of some sort? I don't think it's even possible. I'm going to throw out this Hateful Eidolon. You love to hate to see it. Wonder if they have, like, 2 Brazen Borrowers. Come on. Well, let me have this. Let me have this. Brazen Borrower on Starfield Mystic. Tapping down Archon of Sun's Grace? Makes sense. That's actually gonna do some weird stuff here. So you're letting me cast this again. Seems interesting as a choice. Sentinel's Eyes, I think I could put onto some sort of a chump blocker. Ooh, look at that. Yeah, you are now a chump blocker on the ground, Mr. Eidolon. I'm gonna exile some of the stuff that can't be exiled by other things. Are there any lands left in here? Yes. And I might end up activating Castle Lochtwain on their turn. It wouldn't do anything for me here. We already know they have 2 ways to tap things down. If they have that plus any card draw, I am hella dead. The amount of dead I am is very. But we've maintained a board presence through board wipes. There's the 2 shatters in this game, 2 shatters. The deck's pretty good. Pretty cool. And that's gonna be good game. May as well let our opponent get that final swing in. Sully, fantastic work. You have Azorius without being a Boreas. Oh, okay. There we go, 5/5. Let me contribute to my own death with the Castle Lochtwain. Gorgeous. Oh, Treacherous Blessing, cute. All right, good game. And now you've seen kind of 2 different types of matchups with this deck. We did the Virtue against Mono Red and the Throne Run up against this Azorius kind of tempo control, and it was an interesting match. Dealing with those Dream Trawlers, pretty much impossible. We're bad at it. This deck does not have a lot of removal in it that is not for small creatures. So thank you so much for watching this video. I apologize again that I wasn't able to stream. I was having internet issues, but I hope that you enjoy this content. If you ever want to catch me live, I'm going to be at twitch.tv/Amazonian. I hope to see you there. Bye.